Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of All Arkansas. I am Ray. I'm your host. And today I'm excited to be joined with somebody that I think is kind of a local celebrity. He may not know that he is a local celebrity, but please welcome Ryan Ritchie. What's up, Ryan?
How's it going? Yeah, I am far from a celebrity. I'll tell you that much. And my wife
Well,
will tell you that much.
when I tell people what you do, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I know them. But right now, because you're not, you don't have your face on camera very much out there. People may not know exactly what you do. So why don't you tell people what you're
Yeah.
most known for here locally?
Okay. So I am the owner of Rock City Outfitters.
Yeah.
Arkansas, yeah, hey, Arkansas inspired T-shirts. Probably seen a few dumb T-shirts around the state and stuff. That's us. So
They're hilarious, actually. I
some of them
love
are
I love
hilarious.
the t-shirts. They're comfortable
Some
too.
some of them ruffle feathers. So they're not for everybody. I love them. So we're
Now, a
getting a
lot of
little
people
more.
go ahead.
Yeah, we're getting a little more, not lame, but we're getting a little more. Um, in our old age, we're kind of toning it back a little. So
There's a little less edgy, I guess you could say.
yeah,
Less
yeah, that's
yeah,
the word I'm
yeah.
looking for. A little less edgy. Yeah.
No, I really like, so a lot of people, I go to the conferences and travel to real estate conferences, and one of my favorite shirts to wear to these conferences is the Call Me, because
Yeah.
we like to get referrals from out of state and things like that too. But it's got a giant hog on there, and then it says "Call Me," and people are like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, call you, I guess." Haha, that's funny for referrals. I'm like, no, it's calling the hogs. Woo pig suey. And they're like, oh my gosh. So especially those Texans, they're like, what?
Yeah. Exactly.
so so recently, and the reason why we connected, I guess, is because as a lot of people already know, we had a massive tornado go through. It's like a 1.3 mile tornado that went 29 miles through our state. And so as soon as that happened, a lot of the community jumped in and started helping immediately. And I mean, just to get right to it, one of the things I noticed about you guys is you dove in to do a benefit t-shirt. So I want to talk about that. But before we jump into that part of it, how did you get into the business of printing t-shirts? Is this something that you're like, oh, I've always wanted to do this, and you're there? Or how did you get started?
No. So I worked for another T-shirt, a screen printer, a long time ago. Wasn't even into T-shirts. I got fired from that. And then I did many other things. I've had my hand in a lot of different things. So we've been around since actually 2008. So I got back in the T-shirt business, and we were running it out of our house, for a few years, and it just, kept growing, moving locations and stuff. So we started online only, just doing, like I said, Arkansas inspired T-shirts.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of morphed into, we're doing a lot more custom stuff for, your schools and businesses and stuff like that. And then, something we found, these fundraiser tees, they work nice just because we're set up for it. That's what we do, is we print and design shirts and send them out through the internet.
Yeah.
All the time. So we're kind of set up for it, and it kind of works. It works good.
One of the things I noticed that you do is the Shirt of the Month Club. How does this work?
Oh man, the Shirt of the Month Club. So we come up with a new design every month, and if you're one of the subscribers, we send it to you. You don't know what it's going to be. You open it up, and most times you're pleasantly surprised, but they kind of vary from, we've got all sorts of people we have to cater
Right.
to. So we try to switch it up every month, something different. But the main thing about it is it's a huge discount compared to what a normal shirt would cost you. So we do that for $19.95 a month. You get free shipping. We always throw something fun in there, just to kind of spice it up a little. So we're actually working on the one for, it's almost May, so we're working on that right now.
That's cool.
And they'll be shipping out May the 1st.
Are they original designs, or do you pick from what you've already designed and put them in there?
No, most of them are absolutely brand new. Now we have sometimes, a design we did years ago, but we wanted to change it up some, change colors up. We'll do that. I guess when we're feeling a little more lazy, we'll throw one of those in there. But most of the time, they're brand new.
And you're
designs.
feeling nostalgia.
This month will be a brand
Bring
new.
back the classics.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned the
Yeah,
fundraising shirts.
yeah.
How does that work to raise money with the t-shirt in general? And then I want to get into the specifics of what you guys did recently.
Yeah. So we've done quite a few fundraisers over the years. Just, people will partner with us, say, hey, we have this cause going on. Can you help us design a shirt? Like I mentioned earlier, we're obviously set up for that to distribute shirts when usually the people who are wanting to run that fundraiser, they don't know how to ship out the shirts, take payment, pay sales tax, do all that stuff. So we've started doing a lot of that lately, where it's all done through our website, and they we take care of most of that, and then usually we agree upon um, the proceeds from that shirt going back to that organization. So it kind of works out for everybody.
That's really cool. I've years and years ago, I tried to do a t-shirt fundraiser, and I found out real quick that the cost of the t-shirt plus the distribution plus all this other stuff ate up anything that we were going to give away.
Yeah.
So it became like it was almost like a lost cause. We just wound up donating some money anyway, because we were like, well, this is what
All
people
right.
intended to give. So I guess let's just donate that and eat it, which for someone organizing a fundraiser was pretty frustrating, because here, we have great intentions and we want to do this work, but then you're just inhibited by that. So that's really cool. So you
Yeah.
take care of the distribution as well?
Oh yeah. We it's usually set
That's
up
rad.
where people come to our website, purchase it from our website, and so we take care of all that. Something people don't think about is returns, or swapping sizes, or packages
Oh
getting
yeah.
lost in the mail. And so yeah, we take care of all of that. And it's just, if you're not set up for that, then like you found out, you're you're spending more time doing that stuff you're not set up for, and it kind of just
Oh
loses
man,
loses.
packaging for mail became such a, we'd have all these orders and we'd look at them and go, I guess we got to go through and package all that stuff. And it was a nightmare for
Right.
me. So I'm glad that you're doing this. Okay. So I want to cover, let me share my screen here. I want to cover what you guys are doing recently, because I thought this was really cool when I saw it. Let me add it to our chat here. There you go. Bam. So this is the benefit shirt that you guys are doing for those that have been impacted by the tornado. So how does this work? If somebody wanted to donate some money and also get an Arkansas Strong t-shirt, how do they do it?
Yeah, so we don't have anything set up where people are actually just donating through our site. It's all just purchase of the tee. And then what we're going to do is 100% of the profits. Right now I think it's we're able to do like $20 per tee is going to go directly to the cost, and that's it's one
Wow.
thing I want to talk to you about, that because we
Yeah.
haven't narrowed down where the money's going to go to. So you need to
Yeah.
help
I
me with
love
that.
this other post that you had on here. It says, after many requests, we definitely are working on a fundraiser tee to support those affected by the recent tornadoes. And then you said, we would appreciate all the comments and ideas and suggestions where the raised funds should go. So this is another issue that I ran into too. But I'm fascinated as to how you're going to solve for this, because you said we want to make sure they're used locally. I think in the comments, you're like, what are your guys' suggestions? What have people been suggesting so far? And what do you think you're going to do?
Yeah, so when that post was, obviously right after the
Yeah.
tornadoes, and there's great suggestions, people emailing me comments and stuff, and a lot of that was a lot of the suggestions were real immediate. I mean, anything from storage bins to uh, the immediate stuff, bottles of water,
Right.
food, stuff like that.
Right.
Um, but since now it's we're almost a month in, so um, now we need to look at a lot of those needs have been met.
Right.
A lot of them, not all of them. But now I want to look and see other ways we can help with because it's obviously going to be a long process with not
Yeah.
just the cleanup, but everything people have lost, and stuff like that. So just kind of look and see what other options are to help people. We've done some fundraisers in the past where the money went to, I'm not knocking large, these large organizations, but the money went there, but we got a little pushback for some people, like, oh, only
Yeah.
a fraction of that money went towards this. And
Yeah, I
so,
won't
we,
name specifics, but I'll knock some of the large organizations because I know it's kind of like the issue that we ran into with the t-shirts. Like our intent was really good that we wanted to give as much money as possible to the people in need, but as soon as we started covering the logistics and however many people helped and paying what we needed to pay, much like those organizations that are super huge, a lot of it gets eaten up with administrative
Mhm.
cost. And you can look online and see there's websites, and I'll put one in the description because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But there are websites that look into those charities and say, okay, this charity, if you give $1, this much of that dollar actually gets to the person in need that you're trying to give it to. So that is a
Right.
huge concern that we had whenever, I'm just doing a little Instagram fundraiser for it, but that was a huge concern we had in partnering with the right people because we wanted to make sure that the dollar goes to where people are intending it to go for those that want to give. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get what you're saying. So what do you
Yeah.
think
Because
the
when,
solve is so far?
I don't know, that's a tough one because I thought you were going to have those answers. I thought that's, yeah.
No, I mean, I'll tell people what we're doing. So, I think by the time this comes out, there's only going to be a couple of days left in my fundraiser, but, we decided to partner with the Arkansas Food Bank because that's a group that
Yeah.
I'd worked to back when they were the Rice Depot that was started by farmers who were like, we have rice, let's give it to the poor people, let's figure out a way to distribute it. And so the Rice Depot was started, and then that recently partnered with Feeding America and the Arkansas Food Bank. So I know that they feed about 17% of Arkansas, the state of Arkansas, every single year. So because they are already doing that, when a natural disaster comes through, then the need is increased for a longer period of time. I also
Yeah.
talked to a lot of my friends in real estate around the country who have been in areas that there were natural disasters. And I asked them, okay, I've got people contact me wanting to help, wanting to give money. What did you run into? What did you do? And it was really interesting how many of them said that the immediate the immediate help is always there. The
Yeah.
community rushes to come in and help. I mean, there were so many people. I did a video about how many people were out there. You couldn't even drive down the streets, and it wasn't because trees were down. It's because so many people were there to help, and you had so many people with chainsaws in their hands, just going door to door to door, helping get the trees off of houses and doing what they can to help clean up. But a month into it, and that's slowed down. Well, what's going to happen 3 or 4 months from now when there are still people in need, but the optics are gone from it?
Hmm.
It's not in front of people anymore. And all of my friends that have been through those situations said that's when the help is needed most. And to try to find an organization or a group that's efficient with the funds and can help over a long period of time. So
Hmm.
that's kind of what we're looking at next. What's going to happen and where can we come in and how can we help? We've had to help a lot of people find. I don't do apartments. We only do buying and selling. But there have been several occasions where we have connected someone that was displaced to another apartment or another investor that had an opening in one of their properties. And I think that's going to be happening more and more as people are in short-term rental agreements right now that only last 3 or 4 months. Then as they come out of that, where are they going to go? And because
Yeah.
there was an entire apartment complex that was hit and shut down. So there's a lot of displaced people around. What's the solve for that long term? I don't know. But that's kind of our thinking and where we're planning to give more time and money in the future and how to do it. But where can people go if they want to suggest some groups or organizations to you? What do they need to do? Where can they go to tell you?
Yeah. The best thing would probably just go to our social media, anywhere on, our Instagram, or Facebook, um, profiles, and I'll be, after this airs, I'll be making more posts with this, so that it'd be great if they could just comment directly to, whatever, we share from this, correspondence. So, um, that's what I'd love to have some feedback, about that, because not only, we're both here in Central Arkansas, so, um, that's what, we obviously see. But, I got a lot of comments from, people from, obviously in Wynn and some of the other, you know,
Oh
other
yeah,
areas. And, it's, I had somebody said it hits a small town different. That's,
yeah.
so that's another thing. We just wanted to make sure that, there's a lot of people, affected, through this storm, so that we can maximize, how it's used for everybody that was affected.
Have you seen the
Well,
before and after tornado images
Oh
from
my
the
God.
satellite images?
No, I hadn't seen the satellite. I've seen other ones, people put on social media.
So
But
you can go, I'll leave this link in the description, but you can go to pagis.org, pagis.org. Let me show you some of this stuff. This is wild. Now, okay, so you also have to note that the trees are full on the right. They're not as full on the left. So don't let that
mhm,
distract you. Just kind of basically look at the structures and houses. But
sure.
there's like a little thing that you could just move across and see the destruction that happened in just a very
Oh,
short time. I
man.
mean, the whole thing was gone out of our area in what, 20 or 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And one of the hardest hit places was right over here. We had several investors that owned property in this area. If you back way out, you could see where they did the scan. So where that new path is the path of the tornado and also where they did the scan. But if we zoom into this area, I think this is one of the hardest hit areas. Sorry, there you go. And you'll really be able to see it's near Shipley's. All right. So this is also where I flew around my drone just trying to get an idea of what happened. But you could see these houses right towards the top of the screen where they were just totally destroyed.
Golly.
And
Yeah.
it's a tale of two cities. And it's really, as a real estate agent, it can kind of make you go a little bit crazy, honestly, because the next day after this happened, of course, we're getting calls and I'm running over there trying to help clients and do what we can to just help. And I'm also getting calls from people that are in, a slightly different part of the city. And they're like, hey, do you think we'll be able to see that house still today? And we're like, yeah, I mean, yes. And they have to move. Like, it's not their fault. They have to, they have to move because their job, they have to move because they're in town for a very short period of time and they want to see some houses. But then meanwhile, we're dealing with all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is really wild. Anybody can go to this. It's pagis.org. And they have a little thing that shows before and after the tornado. And we're going to use this to make some images for people to see that are, not in the state or don't really realize what happened. But that strip is basically 1.3 miles wide, diagonal through the Little Rock area.
Man. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and it's like you said, the person, calling, hey, we're going to see that house today, um, it's kind of same with me. I'm just in Maumelle, so not too far,
Yeah.
but it's like two different worlds,
It really
the other
is. Yeah.
side. When
My
we get,
house is in Maumelle. I went and checked because my sellers were out of town and it was fine. Nothing
yeah,
happened. Like,
I
I guess people were asking you like, hey, is my shirt gonna make it? Is it still in the mail?
you
You're
know,
like,
and that's crazy because I have gotten some. I've spoken to some people who are like, not to laugh about it, but they're just like, hey, my package was supposed to be delivered that day, and my apartment is no longer there, and the mail truck it was on is no longer there, and like, wow, okay, yeah, we'll resend that out.
yeah,
Like they have a new address, obviously, somewhere they're staying with somebody temporarily, and so I'll look at the tracking number on that package, and even today it's still saying in transit. They're just so.
who knows where
But it's
that
a true
is?
story. Yeah, I had several people
Wow,
say, yeah, it's supposed to be delivered today, but my apartment's not there and stuff. So
good
it's
grief.
yeah, it's like I said, two different worlds. We find here in Maumelle, and then I drove across the river
Yeah,
that first time. They're on 430, and it's just like, holy cow, this you know
yeah, yeah. When
crazy.
you get to the interstate that you used to not be able to see anything because of the trees, right?
Hmm.
And then you're driving the interstate, and suddenly the trees are gone, and you can see now blue tarps on houses on both sides. It's wild.
Yeah, yeah, it
Well,
really
and
is.
also, I know what you did because I did the same thing. As a good business owner, you have to treat customers that have completely unaffected by the tornado. You have to treat them as if nothing happened, right? You have to,
Yeah,
put on the face and go through the motions and treat them as a client and give them the service that they deserve. Meanwhile, another client's calling you and saying, we need a place for mom because this is what
yeah.
happened and this is what we're going through. And you have to feel different with those clients. It's tough. It's just not an easy situation to be in. I want to bring back up your website so people could see it too. If they want to order one of these shirts, they could go to outfielders, baseball on the brain, rockcityoutfitters.com. And you can see there that's in the top slide, there's the shirt of the month club. And then there's also the Arkansas Strong shirts there.
And that's crazy. You go back to the shirt of the month club. I was like, oh man, how ironic. The shirt we did right then is a pretty beach scene with palm trees and everything. I was like, oh man, is that insensitive? But we had those printed. Those were printed on March 30th, and we're set to go out. So I was like, man, it's not good timing with that shirt. But so we weren't trying to be funny there with that shirt of the month. It's just all about timing. Yeah, those were printed on the 30th and shipped out on the 1st. So
I got to join the shirt. I'm not in the shirt of the month club. I got to join because I would have loved this Christmas tree thing. I know, right? I got to do this. And I always like, t-shirts is what I do, especially Arkansas t-shirts. This is one of my favorites, the hiking, fishing, floating, camping. Yeah, these are good stuff. And I should note that your shirts are really comfortable too. You don't slack on quality. We're kind of
t-shirt snobs for sure. That's the one thing with the fundraiser tee that we did. Somebody commented on it, like, why in the world would you pick a black shirt? Who wants to wear a black cotton polyester shirt out chainsawing, trees? And I was like, that's a good point. Yeah. We weren't really thinking about that, but it's a soft shirt. Yeah. The black might be kind of hot in the summer.
I think it's fine. If they're complaining about the color of the shirt, they could just give them money. Just donate the money and leave the shirt. Yeah. Why don't you do that?
That's right. Give it to somebody else.
Great.
That's right.
There's going to be, people are just going to find a reason, right? Especially online. They'll make comments about anything and they will find a reason to do that about anything. So, well, cool. Well, thanks for coming on. And I know it was kind of spur of the moment. I was like, hey, would you do this for us? So I really appreciate you telling people what you guys are doing. And thanks for kind of being a fixture in the community. And like, you said earlier, you don't think it, but I know a lot of people that are aware of your company. They're aware of what it stands for. The satirical nature and the comedy behind the shirts is appreciated by many. So thanks for joining us, and tell people one more time where they can go to connect with you personally.
You're about to make me cry, man. I just got goosebumps with that little you just did. So thanks. Appreciate that. So yeah, rockcityoutfitters.com. Our location, our retail and print shop is actually in downtown Conway, but we're all throughout the state at boutiques and stuff, or do festivals and everything. But yeah, just check out the website. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Thanks for joining.
Right. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
If you guys want to get an Arkansas Strong t-shirt and donate to the cause, check out the links below, but also check out these other videos that we have on our channel. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you can be alerted whenever we upload a new channel at All Arkansas.